Did you notice something, Blake?
I did, because it's not added in yet. I don't have it on my video clips.
Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so Michael's beautiful face is more in there.
I don't need to be on camera. Okay.
So it's not just my ugly mug.
If you want, I can scooch in a little bit further.
Let's get really close.
No, that's
just like this.
Too much, Nick. Too much. No.
You put your hands in the middle too if you want.
I don't want to.
No? Okay. I like to make people a little awkward sometimes. Lets their true voice.
I need an adult. I need an adult.
Door's locked. You're in trouble.
Shit.
Let's see. There's a shit ton of stuff that we always have to talk about because we go a few weeks in between, and there's so many.
We had an extra week in between this time because we were in Austin.
Yeah, I actually brought my podcast equipment to Austin, but we were so busy, like there was zero time. So
I saw you once.
I know.
I wasn't fucking busy.
You didn't make it to the beer thing.
I did afterwards. After you.
Oh,
left. I didn't realize nobody had told me that was going on. Essentially, I show up and obviously McCarthy's kind of surrounded by people.
Oh yeah.
And like the look on his face was just like, oh my god, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Had the best pizza I've ever eaten.
There?
At the place across the street.
Oh, nice.
There's 818 or 313, something like that.
I didn't eat there, man. I ate at the airport. What was that place called, Blake?
Salt Lick?
Yeah, Salt Lick. I had a bunch of barbecue there. It was okay. I've had better barbecue.
Yeah. It's good for an airport.
Yeah, I was gonna say for an airport it was fantastic.
Yeah. It's like, you get what you get.
You get what you get.
Well, Michael and I fly out the following day and we watched the first half of the Super Bowl in the airport.
Oh yeah,
that was so much fun. We were sitting next to two of the senior event coordinators for South by Southwest.
Oh,
so we just shot the shit for like 2 hours watching this thing. It was great.
That's funny. I mean, it was a good Super Bowl too. So
it was. We watched the second half or the final. We got on the plane during halftime, so we missed the halftime show, and then about halfway through the third quarter, we fired up Michael's laptop, and everybody in the row behind us.
It was all watching.
We were all like, "Oh yeah, what's going on? What's going on?"
How they didn't have it playing on the TVs in the airport somehow? I was like,
in the airport?
Yeah,
we had them in the airport.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay,
yeah.
Just in the airplane, you're saying?
Yeah,
gotcha.
We just had to have it on the laptop in the airport. So.
Yeah.
Oh, in the airplane.
So I wanted to start off today. I know we're gonna shitcoin talk. Don't worry, there's plenty of shitcoin talk, and we'll talk about Blake slacking on the leaderboards in the pick'em.
Yeah, dude. What you should do is while we're talking shit about Bitcoin, is you should recalculate mine specifically.
Just his. So he'll be in
mine
first
is
place.
doing quite well, I believe. I just came out of nowhere.
Well, I want to talk about Bitcoin because obviously over the last few weeks we've had a nice little run up. I mean, this is on the weekly, so these are just the last 2 weeks. But it's not out of the norm of what we were seeing from November 2022, which was the bottom, right? It's just this continual move upwards. Now the ETFs coming in, and one of the big narratives was going into it was there just isn't enough Bitcoin on that is on exchanges to handle the demand that's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's not like ripping through everything, but the actual idea that they can't handle the amount of supply that's there.
But you talked about that in the previous podcast, which was all this Bitcoin is going to get locked up into these ETFs and take it off the market, which should.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna. And that's why I want to kind of pull up on a couple things here. I always forget which ones I'm about, but I mean, balances on exchanges. This is obviously it's a larger time scale, but you can see the price in USD, but it's on a downward trend, and this is the last couple weeks here. It's definitely dipping down, right? I found where did it go? Did I put it on here? Bitcoin balances here. So CoinGlass, this actually looks like CoinGecko if I think about it a little bit more. It looks just like it, but total. This is on total on exchanges is 1.8 million Bitcoin, which sounds like a lot. But when you look at how much Bitcoin is being taken off of the exchanges, when we look at investors traded a record 6.3 million shares, roughly $179 million on a Tuesday, right? So where was the number they have on here? But when you look at,
and that was into one single ETF, right?
And this was last week's. Yeah, this is into one because they had the VanEck had their biggest day that they had seen. So this is about 20 times its daily average, 2.4 billion weekly inflows. What that means for, I mean, it's $2.4 billion. So you have to, it's a 1-for-1, right? So, I mean, do the math. I can't do it in my head. So, somebody do the math for me quick. I'll do it. It's going to be really quiet in here. Sorry.
Sorry, I can't. I was looking at something else. What?
It's funny because
I got it.
I heard you just said it's a 1-for-1. Do the math. I was like, well, it's 2.4 billion.
No. For Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's at 50K, right? So it's 48,000. So that's 48,000 Bitcoin getting taken off of the exchanges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's other things that you're seeing out there that it's not keeping, or it's 10 to 14 times the amount of Bitcoin that's actually being mined each day. So that supply is taken up, and then the supply of the exchanges is starting to get dwindled down. If we go back to the
classic economics,
if you look
supply economics, like economics 101.
Right? And this is what I was talking with Chris this morning. He goes, yeah, third grade math.
Third grade economics.
So 30-day change, 7-day change, 24-hour change, right? So last 30 days, 51,000 difference. The last 7 days was 29,000 difference. So you can see like it's heating up. It's going fast. This is the last 24 hours. So it's had a positive inflow onto exchanges. This is not what's being on the ETFs. This is exchange driven Bitcoin, which is where people are accessing the majority of the Bitcoin that they're getting. So, and then we have a tiny event that's coming up on 420 or around that time frame is the halving.
Indeed, the halving.
So
I say it like that because I'm English.
That's why people listen. Is for your beautiful voice.
The halving.
Speaking of beautiful voices, I talked to Buxy last week.
I did. She does have a beautiful
voice. Oh, she does. She's
beautiful
great.
Face too.
She's an incredibly nice person.
She is.
I've only chatted with her on like through Discord and stuff like that, but we chatted with her a couple.
I think I got taller.
There you go. About some of the projects that she is going to be working with. Nothing I can say yet. I promised I wouldn't say anything until they announced it.
Interesting you brought it up then.
But it aligns with some of the projects that I have or I am involved with at some level, a couple of them. But man, she's just a really nice person. But I digress. Anyways.
Cheers. I told you my
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
The hug.
The hug with Billy Idol like 3 feet away from us.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite moments.
But what I see, I mean, obviously it's a narrative, but what I don't see is the FOMO yet, right? People coming in and saying, like, really realizing what a supply shock that this could actually be. Obviously, as price goes higher, people will want to sell. But historically, holders of Bitcoin hold for a long time. And that's not even talking about these ETFs. Those are just getting sucked up and put away.
Mm-hmm.
Just talked with a mutual friend of ours yesterday. Michael and Michael.
That's normally me and the other Michael.
RIA. The other Michael.
And Michael. Yeah.
We got Michael. We got two Michael and Michaels.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But they are they're talking to me like because they want to start allocating their clients to ETFs and stuff, and so they picked out an ETF and they're chatting. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put a little bit in there, and we're chatting about the supply and demand issue. And he goes, and before I even said the halving part, I was telling him all the stuff we're telling here, and he's like, that doesn't seem like it's going to turn out well for the people that don't buy Bitcoin now. And I go, well, I mean, it might not.
I mean, I think that because of the ETFs, so this is a sea change in the Bitcoin proposition for the global financial markets, right?
Yes,
because it's not like there's going to be this giant retrace where they sell it all off, because they're not going to do that. It's a long-term 20-year commitment to hold Bitcoin, and the supply is not going to, it's getting twice as hard to make the next Bitcoin coming up in June.
Yep.
Or April. And it's just never going to go the other way.
Because it's a hard number.
It's a hard number.
It's a hard number. It's not like gold or anything else. So we've talked about that at length.
21 million that can ever exist.
But we're seeing the numbers now. This is the thing that people aren't getting is we're seeing the numbers going the direction of Bitcoin is going away. Like it's going to be more scarce than it currently is now. And in a few months, that halving hits, it's going to be even more scarce.
Correct.
So it's here. I'm excited.
And the amount of energy required to create the next one goes up. So the cost of production is also going up. Therefore, that should be reflected in the price.
Yeah.
Which is the same as gold or mercury or whatever. If we know where it is, we can go get it. But if we stop knowing where the next part is, we can't get it.
The reason I brought up Mike and Mike is because they're an N of one, right? It's for myself. It's kind of they're a proxy. I know a few RIAs, one of them who's deep into the crypto ecosystem. He's been there for a while, but I consider the Mike and Mike's. They are kind of your normal per se people that they've heard about it, and mainly because they know me, so they've heard about it way more than most other people.
I hang out with both of them also, so.
And you hang out with both of them also.
Yeah.
But they're just now getting to start allocating their clients into the ETFs.
Only because they were handcuffed a little bit.
Yeah,
they couldn't do anything before it became
they could actually
SEC product.
Well, they actually could have. They were with Fidelity, so they had the ability to actually buy for their clients and hold actual Bitcoin in Fidelity for a couple of years, but they still didn't do it. This makes it even easier.
Yeah,
they even had the ability to before, but now it's like, oh, should we allocate 1 to 5%? I told them we should allocate 100%. They said they couldn't do that, and I said, well, stop being a pussy. But apparently they have rules.
Yeah, one of them gave me a hot tip on a legacy market trade. It's not going super great. So
Punjab is on. Glad you joined us. Him and I actually talked quite a bit at the Austin Summit. It was our first time talking in person, so really enjoyed those conversations. When pre-halving retracement. I mean, this might be your pre-halving retracement, man.
I think it's a different. That's what I was saying. Is a different halving because of the ETF approvals and the fact that there's so much investment company money that's locking up Bitcoin. I don't know if we see a pre-halving retrace.
So if we look here, we'll put the Bitcoin halving events on, and this is on a weekly basis here. So the most recent one in was this May? Yeah, May 2020. We had a down draw. So you had, I mean, pre-drop, you had this big wick in here. This 1 week, it went, you had was that 20% retrace, 19% retrace. The halving before that, you had and this was about a month beforehand, 30% retrace. And then really maybe a similar one in that one. 25%. So what was our pre-halving retrace? Was it this here? In the fact that we had a bunch of people that were, preempting the fact that ETFs were coming in. It's kind of really trying to get everything moving through. Is that it? That's a 21%, but it's way early, right? Everything else seemed to have been a month to a couple weeks out. So
I think there was some flaccidity around the Bitcoin market, around the ETF approvals. I think there was this expectation that it was going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event where the price was going to skyrocket upon approval. Didn't really happen, kind of floated along, went left to right. More so than I think most analysts were expecting, and potentially myself.
Yeah.
But it was just, So does yesteryear predict future performance? No.
Oh, no.
And there are structural differences in the market that weren't 100% prior to the previous halving.
So let's say this is when the halving is going to be in this time frame, April 22nd. It'll probably be a little bit earlier than that, just because there's a lot more activity. But let's just put it in that realm there. So I would venture to guess if there's going to be something, it is the earliest is you're probably going to see the dip start here in March, because most of them were, like I said, a couple weeks to a month out pre-halving, and then you're looking at a 20% dip. But where do we get to before then? Do we get to all-time highs in the next 4 weeks?
Right?
Yeah, look, I'm not shorting anything.
Why I do not think that any of that institutional money is going to take that bet and say, well, we're going to sell it now, hope for that little retrace, rebuy, and make some money. Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No, because even if we go and look at where do we go from here? Like, do we get another couple weeks? Do we get up into this?
Zoom out a bit. I need more up.
Oh, you want more up? More up.
Yeah, more up. Did we make a prediction at the end of last year of what we thought 2025, 2024?
Yeah, I think I had all-time highs.
Oh, you had 69,420, right? That was it.
69,420, and then 420,000 and
420,000. Okay, I think that's on the upper limit of what's realistic.
I think we hit 100 with what we see on
where's
now.
69,420 on? Is that purple line?
Literally right here, that's purple line. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to blow past that.
I tend to agree with you. So I mean, even
110, 115.
Even if let's say we pre-have it, we get up there and we get a big dip of 30%. I mean, that still brings you down into the realm 52K, 51K. I mean, you're currently there. People aren't going to take that risk.
No.
Right? They're going to buy now. They're not going to worry about that, 15, 20, 25% dip at the half, the halving. And there'll probably be a halving retrace. There usually is. I mean, but there's always retraces all the way up and all the way down. Even with what we have going on in terms of legacy's not even there yet, but the ETFs themselves buying, right, which is going to be a continuous buy. There's obviously still sellers. I mean, we still have sellers. There's going to be a lot of sellers along the way. There's a lot of big holders out there that have had it for a long time that are just waiting. That 100K mark is the magic one. I think, a lot of people just have that in their head.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people probably sell at the 100K mark.
Yeah.
So
I would.
All-time highs are always a big one too, just because you have a lot of buyers in that range. Like, get me out.
All-time high, like, finally it's back. Okay, cool.
I'm out.
I told Janice it was going to work.
Janice divorced me. Damn it, I'm out. It's rough, dude. It's rough.
Sorry if anybody's named Janice.
But as so you just have a supply issue. The next one I wanted to touch on before we get to shitcoinery. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You can bring me in here for Bitcoin talk because I don't do.
But it leads into it because you got to start high. Start with the big dogs. You kind of move lower. The next one I want to talk about is ETH, because ETH is starting to make itself a little kind of movement.
Top 3K yesterday, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, why am Solana? I don't want Solana. My ETH. So ETH looking pretty nice. And in terms of what I thought it was going to do, I thought ETH BTC, which I have on a different one. Let me pull that up here. I thought ETH BTC would have dipped a little bit harder. I thought we would have saw probably at least a 0.4 down this range, maybe 0.35. I thought we would dip pretty hard. I thought the Bitcoin push would have been more, but what we're seeing, I think, personally, is all those people that bought Bitcoin right? So if we go back to the Bitcoin, all this buy and push up, I think was people that obviously were already in crypto. They had money on the sidelines and they're ready to move this up and ride that ETF decision. ETFs are buying now and they're doing well and it's keeping it lofted. But I think this rotation that people are doing from Bitcoin to ETH, because there's going to be an ETH ETF and it's the play of the ETH ETF. And I think that's what we're seeing now.
Well, percentage gains available on ETH are higher than they are on Bitcoin in a short time frame.
For sure. But I think this is just people playing the too big.
So is this like what you would call a descending wedge? That
it almost actually was trying to be what I like to call a
kind of a reverse head and shoulders in there somewhere, isn't there? Like in that middle bit
is the Grim Reaper.
Yes, I've heard the Grim Reaper as well.
It was trying
action.
Yeah, it was trying to, but again, I think this most recent little if you would have got something more in this range and it start to rip down. We'll see what it does. It looks pretty strong. There's a lot of volume to it. A lot of people buying into it. I think it probably breaks out of this and then moves forward. It's definitely a good play from the Bitcoin to ETH play, at least in that midterm. And then it's all shit coins. After that,
shit coins after that.
All shit coins after that.
I did a whole portfolio reshuffle yesterday and bought myself a whole bunch of shit coins.
So, okay, when you reshuffle, because I don't think you ever sell anything.
All right.
Because every time I ask you if you have a token, oh yeah, I got some of that. I got a bag of that. I got a bag of here. What did you reshuffle?
Mostly Gala. I divested myself of considerable amount of Gala. And I moved it into, I bought some more Ondo because Ondo's crushing. Which
we talked about Ondo last time.
We did. I bought some Kudos.
Kudos, huh?
Yep.
Ondo. Here's your Ondo. Ondo's looking good. Look at that. That was a sweet consolidation and move up.
Yeah, and look at where we mentioned it. Where did we mention? When did we do our last podcast?
3 weeks
ago?
ago.
No, that was it. It only just launched, right?
This is weekly. No, this is daily.
This is daily, and it only just launched. It only
we were like right in here.
A week out of the market.
See, if you guys would have listened to Michael, you guys would be gajillionaires right now. I did not listen to Michael.
You said you were going to do more research, and then you didn't.
I had too many damn things going on, man.
Well, yeah,
too many damn things.
I'm super busy at the moment. What was the other one I bought? I bought Kudos.
You're on WorldCoin.
I'm on WorldCoin.
But you already had that.
Yeah, I already have WorldCoin. I had it. It's in my Pick'em. And then Ajax.
So the eye scanners here, they're loving WorldCoin. Like, again, pretty nice, consolidation off this here.
Pyth is doing well.
Is Pyth doing okay? I want to see what it market. We talked about it. Didn't we have a bet going? Oh, we're gonna have to go back and listen.
Maybe. Yeah, I think we do have
on the market cap. Somebody owes somebody $5, I think.
That's the other one I purchased.
Yeah, didn't you say he was gonna flip something?
Pyth?
Was that something else?
We were betting on Sol flipping ETH.
Yeah, we bet on Sol. I thought we had a Pyth network market cap, which I'm winning, by the way, because it's at 100. It's out of 100. I think you were saying it was going to flip like the top 50 or 25 or something, and I think it was for $1 million.
That seems like stupid.
And it seemed like for $1 million at least.
Was it? Oh, I'm going to listen.
I definitely think
I have my people.
$1 million Mog.
$1 million Mog. There you go.
Mog.
What was the other one?
My Mog bag is looking so nice, even though it's down today, man. My Mog is looking delicious.
Yeah, Mog's doing great. Bonk's doing just fine.
Yeah, Mog,
They're all doing great.
I haven't looked at Bonk in a while.
Super was the other one.
Because we talked about Super on there, and that's nice. I have a sell order in there to take my initial investment off the table, so it'll be 100%, and they'll take that off and just let the rest ride. But yeah, it's been doing well.
Blake, did you look at my Pick'em? It should be doing really well.
Oh, yeah, Super.
I haven't updated it all yet. I have to just go through and manually adjust 30
I get it. They're not fluid.
Yeah, we got to go through next week. So
it'll be done by
another week. And actually,
I can do it. I can do it next week.
All right.
This last 10 days have been insane with me being away, and then Hanneke was away, and then I had sick kids.
Yeah, sick kids. Dude, everybody's getting sick, man. Everybody's getting sick.
Something going around.
Yeah, we had to put off the Gala Gazette podcast this week because Family Man was wrecked, dude.
Really?
Yeah, he was telling me all the.
I've still got something a little bit in there, but it's not. I mean, my kids were definitely sick.
Yeah,
Taylor was definitely sick.
Yeah, we got a little stuffy nose that went through the house, but nothing too crazy. So, I think going back to the shitcoinery itself, like overall, we should look at total.
We should look at Gala as well.
Oh, I'm going to show you a nice total 3. So if we just take out market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, this is excluding Bitcoin and ETH, which is pretty amazing, actually. So they're your top 2. A lot of this was driven by Sol, I would imagine. But I mean, just in general, there's so much growth here on the shitcoins. This is your
I think there's a definition
growth.
of shitcoin there.
Anything other than Bitcoin is a shitcoin.
In your definition.
Yeah, I expanded it. It just depends on the day for me. Like when I look at Bitcoin and the supply shock and everything else is going on there, and everything else is shitcoin. But in reality, I love Sol. Like I'm doing there's transactions are fractions of a penny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
super
fast as fuck.
Super fast.
Now,
Yeah.
yes, it goes down every once in a while for like a few hours. But damn.
AVAX is pretty fast.
I've
as
had
well.
a
I've been using it.
dollar worth of Sol that I've just used for just transaction stuff, and I've used that same dollar for so long now. I'm like,
I
this
love
is
it.
the best.
I love it. I know. And that's why when I got my Sol phone, it was like they already put enough on there for you to do transactions. I just sold some into Sol, some of the free, bullshit that I got. So then I can transact and do other things. And it's like basically I've never had to put money onto that wallet ever.
You did only get it like 3 weeks ago.
No, I've had it for a little while now. It's up. I haven't made
I mean, the Sol phone.
Sol phone. Yeah, I got it. I got it a while ago.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought you'd only just got
I
it.
had it before.
Christmas?
Well before. No. It was beginning of the year.
Still not a very long time, is
Dude,
it?
we're almost out of February. We're almost into a whole nother month, man.
So nuts.
Yeah, it's going by fast. It's gonna keep going fast. I want to show you. So that's total market cap. But one of the things that I brought up yesterday, I was looking at charts, was some comparison. I want you to check this out. Look at
Decentraland. God.
well, so I had some Decentraland land, so I sold it.
Mhm.
And I sold all my mana because I just found a wallet that I forgot I had. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't use this shit. So I just sold it, put it to ETH.
Did you buy its ICO?
No.
I did.
Who?
Mana for
Oh, no.
Decentraland. Yeah, I was super
Oh.
involved right at the very beginning, like talking to the actual team.
Oh, you were
stuff.
you were talking to me about it and wanting to buy a bunch of land for it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day, I think
Glad
you
I
did
didn't.
buy a bunch of land. But so the interesting thing I saw was this. I mean, look at the chart pattern.
Yep.
So this is Gala, the orange one. This is Mana.
Dang.
Like they literally are like
Is
in lockstep.
exactly.
Yeah, that is crazy correlation right there.
So a couple things that it tells me is it's market driven, but also we know for a fact that there's a lot of market makers out there that they're using the same fucking market makers,
Yeah.
doing the same pattern, everything else. Like until one of them breaks away from this all is just bot driven market, kind of some sentiment coming through. They aren't changing anything. They're literally just playing with the regular market that's there. Because if you look at other things that are happening, and obviously if we go with the one non-shitcoin of Bitcoin, this is in the same time frame, and you can see, it's up from this time frame from March, or what are we at here? April 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this percentage shows on the screen here. It shows the price relative to the beginning of the screen. So everything was up, right?
Right.
And so Mana and Gala, one's 82%, one's 80% or 90.
88.99.
88%. So when you look at that, like, where are you putting, and I think I tweeted out too, I was like, where are you putting your money? Right? Like, you really have to think clearly on this of why you're going to hold this thing all the way down through. And even if you would have said, well, fuck it, I'm out here, like at the absolute bottom, and I just want to put it into Bitcoin, you're up a significant amount compared to what you were sitting at with Mana and Gala, right?
Yep.
So you got to look at that in terms of where are you setting your money? And this is,
It depends on your investment horizons, though, doesn't it? It's like,
well,
you're a day trader, so
well, I'm not a day trader. I don't day trade.
you're
I'm more of a trend trader.
trend trader. We trade mostly.
But what I'm
every
looking
day,
at here though is too
so there's that.
what?
You make trades almost every day, though.
Depends.
How about
on
5
what's,
times a week?
Depends on what's happening. Sometimes it's daily for sure. If things are,
Whereas I don't do that. I buy into
know.
something I'm interested in, and I set it and forget it, and I'll hodl that shit until it's worthless.
I get it. But if you're
I like
putting
to run shit coins into the ground.
you do. But so let me ask you this: would you do that same thing? Now Bitcoin is different. Like, do you do that same thing with everything? Do you
Well,
just
Bitcoin's not exciting enough for me.
totally
I live
agree.
on the edge, Nate. I live on the edge,
Well, let's look at Sol.
bleeding edge of
I gotta have
blockchain
Sol on here
technology.
somewhere. There it is.
It's not 1,000,000%. Nate doesn't want it.
So Sol was interesting. If you look at here, it followed everything. And this
then
is what I was
breaks
trying to
out.
say. And
breaks
then
out because of added functionality.
it breaks away, right?
Because the technology that they delivered was delivering
Yeah.
against their promise.
It actually did what
These
it's
two
supposed to
down
do.
here haven't done shit.
Right. Until they do shit,
Mhm.
until we actually see that there's their product that they're
I
delivering.
suspect one of them is too little, too late. But
I think man is dead, dude.
oh yeah, I would say the same is true for both of them. Then
Yeah, I
thought
think
the promise of Decentraland was great, but it's also they just took too long to get anywhere close to where it would be
Yeah.
operational.
well, Angala's got to get out of the whole stigma of they were a gaming company and now they're like shunning games. Like they're saying, well, fuck, we don't care about games. We're a layer one.
Mhm.
Right? We want to push layer one. We want to push our new layer, blah, 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 that kind of crap. Well, until your layer one it has, third party validators that are not, a centralized entity controlling everything on there. And we can actually have access to the blockchain and not your SDK, and show that it's actually doing everything that you're saying it's doing, then I'm excited. But until then, it's all a bunch of talk because that's all it's been for this entire time frame.
Yeah.
Including all the games that are going on. Why do you think all the games aren't developing on there? Well, because they haven't delivered anything and they're just going from one shiny thing to the next to where they're going to get their money from. Now, if their layer one chain does what it's supposed to do, then I do see them doing very well.
Maybe.
I think they will. But you know what will help them is if they sell the game department of Gala Games to the collective.
Okay.
The GG Collective.
GG, that's what you've gone with?
Yeah, we're on GG Collective.
Didn't we come up with a much better name the other day?
Yeah, but I asked and nobody told me what it was. I couldn't remember what it was.
We came up with a much better name.
Then tell me what it is.
It'll come to me.
I asked everybody.
It'll come to me, and I'll text you and let you know. But yeah, we came
please
up with
do.
a much better name.
But GG, good
It was
game.
Cube Collective.
GG, good game.
Cube Collective, because of the cube for the Gala logo.
That's a good one. But I do like
I think you were
GG
spelling it
has
with
so
a
many.
Q as well.
It's the GG token too. It's like GG, good game. I mean, gamers, it's all GG all the time.
On the website.
I just hear horses. When I hear GG, I was like, that's
horses.
Yeah, bet on GGs.
Okay.
That's an English.
think of
That's
good
an
game.
Englishism. Okay, that is definitely an Englishism. We call.
I think of
horses
good game, like
GGs.
GG's.
And end the podcast. Good job, guys. Just kidding.
I just that's all I hear is horse.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would love to see them be successful. Like I've put millions of dollars into their ecosystem. I've supported their games. I've supported things that they've done. I've tried to do as much as I can to help move Gala Games as much forward as I can. Like helping with the Austin thing, like probably wasn't going to happen unless we helped out.
And I know for a fact they've reached out with their never-ending gratitude for your.
For sure. And
they've made you feel
very 100%. And they're great. I love the team. It was a fantastic time.
Oh, Miranda's, yes. Gala, no.
Oh, Gala. I mean, I don't get shit. I'm still waiting on my Frank Miller for fucking almost 3 years ago. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I bought,
that's just straight fraud then, isn't it?
I've bought $900,000 NFTs that I get a, 0 thanks for being a part of our ecosystem shit. Like nothing. I mean, in reality. So
they're not a community driven project.
No, not at all.
No.
But I want to see the project successful. Is it gonna be? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna put it out here right now. Sell the game department to the collective. Let us run it. Let you do your layer one. Move your music into its own entity. Move your film.
Music's doing quite well.
Oh yeah, well supposedly there's some big announcement coming out. That
I know what it is, but I can't say it. So, and yes, it is a big announcement. It's gonna be received with a sort of tepid. People are either going to love it, hate it. Will the market like it? Potentially. Other than that, I don't know.
I mean,
the self-service portal was one of the only major promises I've seen Gala deliver, and they delivered it well. And everything on the music side has been delivered fairly well. I think the way that they built everything works great. The self-service portal is now available, so you can upload your own tracks, generate your own NFTs. There's a certain approval process that needs to happen.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so I can make my own music and I can set it on there?
Yeah, my buddy Seb just got on there.
Now, do they have to approve it?
I believe there is an approvals process.
See, that's still not Web3. It's still centralized.
Well, yeah, but it's not like that where previously it was a curated playlist of people that they went out, contracted
for
with.
sure.
Now it's not anything like that. It's hey, submit your music.
Yeah.
If we think it's appropriate, if it's blah blah blah, you can generate 100 NFTs and they'll go onto the marketplace. People will buy them.
Look, I love that they're moving in that direction. In the moment that turns into a decentralized process to where it's hey, you're uploading your own music and it just has to be in this format, and that's the check, and it's all done, without human interaction.
With that a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, with all content. I mean, if you're representing on your platform, you have to be a little bit careful with it. I mean, what if somebody uploads a track of just some absolutely awful anti-humanitarian, like sadistic abuse shit?
Pro Hitler.
Right. I mean, that's weird. You mentioned that.
I mean, I don't know why.
It has to do with you
now. I mean, seriously though, I think I like that they did that. I didn't know that they did that. I was not keeping up with music at all. I've got so much going on the game side.
I keep up with music. I mean, I have 10 music nodes, but it's because I have previously been in the music industry a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
So I have a lot of artist friends who I've been kind of moving towards engaging with Gala because I like the concept. I think they are delivering it well.
That's great. It's too bad that they've ignored games.
Agreed. I mean, game development and music is completely different worlds.
I gave them millions of dollars, and in my opinion, they were investments. I was investing into your company. Did I expect you to give me a share of your company? Nope. Did I expect that I was going to get some sort of utility with these investments? Yes, because that was promised to me. And there's a whole lot of promises, but they've just dropped the ball.
I know. Yes,
they've dropped the ball in games. We know.
It's very, very disappointing. It's about to get much more disappointing.
There's a lot of people on here. Let's see. GG is a great name. Yes, I agree. Punjab, you're right. I like good game. GG. See, everybody likes it. So cute. It's cute. Maybe
it's so mid for me, dude. Blake's young, so he gets that. I have a couple of teenagers.
No.
And my kid just was like, "Oh man, that's so mid."
It's not mid. That's not even teenagers. That's like 30-year-olds, dude.
I was on the phone with my dad.
30-year-olds teenagers to me.
I know.
I said something to my dad, and he responded to me with "cap" the other day, and I just set my phone down. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, don't.
The one that's left thrown around now is Gucci as well. It's like, man,
Gucci. That's an old one too, though.
Bussin', which I think came from like the 70s, but has been my 11-year-old.
We need to bring back calling everything boss. That was the best. Like when I was in middle school. That's so
calling it what?
Boss.
Oh, boss, yeah. Oh, I would call people boss or chief.
Dank is another one. Dank is from
Chief's
like
a great one.
Oh, they're so condescending. It's like, okay, chief. All right, boss. It's ridiculous. Well, let's see here. Kind of went off.
We did.
I'm excited about music though. Like if that's what they're doing, and they're actually doing some things.
It's a testament to the delivery and the where they talked about the compartmentalized team structure at Gala. Some of them are doing great, and music is one of them that is doing great. They are doing great.
I think it had to do with the people that were in charge of getting people in there.
I agree.
That are no longer there. Weird.
That are no longer there. And so,
Michael, I got a question for you on the music side. So, where do you think it's going to fit in, or how is it going to work? Like, for me, just a music listener, if I just want to listen to music, I don't necessarily care about the ownership side or whatever. Are they going to get to a point where, it's kind of the same with like the struggles that like independent show artists and like independent film artists have in terms of it's easier to buy a subscription service and have access to everything for $10 a month or whatever. So is there going to be an ability for me to just download the Gala Music app on my phone and listen to music for a subscription fee?
And I do know some of the answer, but I only know what I've been told is the answer. So what actually ends up happening is different. So my understanding is that Gala's music ecosystem and the nodes, they can be standalone. It is a standalone system in its own right. However, when their plan, whether they can deliver it or not, is a completely different question. Is that they would be subletting the actual playback to Spotify, YouTube Music,
got it,
wherever. So you might be listening to Spotify and you hear an artist that is on Gala, and that track is being streamed off a Gala Music node. In which case, that node owner is getting paid, and the artist is getting paid for it as well. That makes sense?
Yep.
So, there's two sides to it. It's the back end part, whereas I like to own those NFTs. I'll actually mostly do it to support artists, but
For sure.
If Gala Music is the only place you can listen to those things, I don't think it's going to work super well long term, and it certainly doesn't make financial sense. But if they then sublet the playback to Spotify and they're getting a playback credit directly to the node owner, Gala, and the artist, then which is going to be micro pennies on the dollar, but still.
And I think it depends on the artist themselves is where they're at in their career, right? If you're an up and coming artist, you're needing exposure. If it was more limited and you have to be a track owner or whatever, it wouldn't work for them. But if you're an established artist that like a Snoop or something that is like, yeah, I want to release something exclusive to people who want to be a part of this community and stuff, I can see it more so with that,
And I think there's a localization component as well, say Nate and I run 100 music nodes in the Willamette Valley, and we're only putting Willamette Valley musicians onto those nodes via NFT tracks. Then all of a sudden, if I'm the local audience and this is the place that I can go find that music which is in my backyard, then I know that I'm supporting. The only leakage is going out to Gala on the percentage that they take off the top.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The rest of it's staying right here in the Willamette Valley.
I like that.
So, and see, you live down in Austin, right? Or
yeah, he lives in Austin.
You live in Austin. Austin's a great example of that. Is like you have one of the best music festivals in the world. And
apparently every dev in the world lives in Austin too. I feel like game dev at least.
a lot of people. I mean, it's a tech city and it's vibrant. It's cool. I had a great
it's a cheap
time in
tech
Austin.
city. Like, I mean, it's, compared to the Silicon Valley or anything like that. I mean, it's just.
I love the layout, actually. Austin is a well thought out city. I like a lot about that. Have you ever been to Revelry on 6th Street?
Yes, I have been to Revelry.
Michael and I had what we like to call hip hop brunch. Wherever we go out to these cities, we try and find a hip hop brunch on the Sunday. And that place was banging. I would every time I come back to Austin, that's where I'm going to go to Revelry, man. That place was dope.
Well, you have to go to Dai Dewey for dinner.
Dai Dewey?
Dai Dewey. So
I want to go there just so I can say it again.
It's all local, like regional food that they get in, if it's not available, they don't cook with it, right? And a lot of wild game that they either hunt themselves or have brought in. Virtual. I met up with him when I flew in that night, and he's like, "Let's go to this place, Dai Dewey." And I didn't realize at the time that I had heard of it before. So we got in there, ate, people were fantastic in there. The food was phenomenal. I make a great steak. My steak, personally, I think is the best steak ever. This was better. Like ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
There's this dude from Argentina that would disagree with you.
I don't know.
Salt Bay.
I was just going to say it's Salt Bay.
But
dude, my parents went to his restaurant in Vegas. It was so funny. My dad was dying laughing.
It's just so cringy and awkward. He was like, "What is happening? Oh, stop."
So the Dai Dewey, we were talking, and at the end of the night, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's the guy here. He's super into wild pig, and he wrote a book on it." And I was like, "Oh, this sounds familiar. I think I might know if this is the same thing, same place I was thinking of." And it was. Ultimately, I watch a lot of hunting shows and listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. And he was on the Meat Eater podcast and had a show with them and that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed their ethos of food and how they bring it to the people and stuff like that. And it was, I highly recommend it. Blake, you been there yet?
Dai Dewey.
Yeah, Dai Dewey. I told you about it.
Yet. You did tell me about it, but I don't really go spend money on nice dinners very often.
When's your birthday?
August.
When's your girlfriend's birthday?
May.
It's coming up. I'm gonna fund your trip to Dai Dewey, and you're gonna take your girlfriend there.
I mean, I want to go. You said it's amazing.
On that, what's that restaurant thing that you?
Oh yeah. Well, it's Marcus's. The
In-Kind.
Big
In-Kind,
questions.
Yeah. Ember.
What do we got? I'm sorry, we're missing the chat. We gotta have somebody that's in charge of the chat. I only look over here once in a while.
Yeah, I can do better.
One of the mics used to do it for us, didn't he?
He did. Blake's been taking over, but Blake gets into the conversation.
It's,
too,
it's
which is
more,
good.
yeah, we need somebody in the room here.
You need a
Yeah.
controller. MI, a good point on the SDK. Until it's available for people to actually dive into the blockchain itself and not the SDK of it, then it's just centralized. It's not a decentralized platform, and that's fine. Like if that's what they want to go with it too, that's fine. You're just going to lose some.
It's going to be very difficult for them to flip the switch and make it completely decentralized because there's some power considerations that just aren't going to get resolved anytime soon.
So, are you an Austin native? Did we miss you at the Miranda's deal? Sounds like you've been there a bit.
Me?
No, MICE.
Oh,
this guy here. So
yeah,
Austin is cheap, and the housing market has been overbuilt. Builders are hiding inventory. Deals could get better. Lazarus Brewing on 6th Street is worth a visit.
Which brewery? Where did we have the meetup? Miranda's one.
I can't remember the name of it.
Zilker.
Zilker.
Zilker. Yeah. They had a great beer. I really liked one of their beers.
Which one? I had a couple of ones. I had the Pale too. The Pale was good.
Was great.
Yeah, Zilker's cool.
Pale was good. Music chart. Not a bad looking chart by any means.
It bounces along in that channel.
Well, and when you really start to see things kind of take off is when they break out of those channels, good or bad.
It could also bounce along in that channel. I'd be happy over the long term.
Yeah, I think so too. I just keep putting all my music into LPs, so both for Black Harp and for my personal, just putting them into the LPs, just let them run. So liquidity pools, yeah. I do the same. Yeah, I back them, all those guys. Just put it all in there. But yeah, I can see this doing quite well with certain announcements, and you break those channels and things can get really frothy. Look, if they're doing that, that's great. I'm just gonna put it out again. So the 7 people that are listening is, let's bring the games over to the GG Collective. Let the GG Collective run it, right? I will put this out there though, in the contract itself is depending on what their chain operability is, because I'm hearing there is a lot of issues with the deployment of certain aspects onto Gala chain, as I would deploy these games onto different chains until the point in time that Gala chain is available and ready. But that can always be negotiated. Let's see. Anything else? Any other shit coins people want to look at?
Fett.
I gotta put Pork up here real quick.
This is back from MICE.
Gotcha. Sister lives there, or in San Antonio.
Fett would be good.
You're in Portland. How come you don't come down here? You should come in and have a beer.
Maybe he's talking about Portland, Maine.
Nobody lives in Portland, Maine, bro. Nobody lives on Portland, Maine. I just wanted to bring up Pork, so which is the Pawn coins, meme coin.
Research into it yesterday.
Pepe Fork.
Yeah, so they haven't started the buying and selling, or the whatever they're going to call it, where you give them your Pepe and then the Pepe gets market sold into Pork and to ETH, essentially. So it would rip down that meme coin and then prop up Pork and ETH. So the interesting thing is they have a whole lineup of these meme coins ready to go. Apparently Pepe is the first one, and then Mog is the second one. And they're going to give you 1.5x. So if you give them $1,000 of Pepe, they're going to give you $1,500 of ETH/Pork, as in like 50-50. I think it's 50-50. Or no. Half of it goes half of it goes to the ETH into their pool, and then you get Pork. I don't know, some shit like that. Some weird one. Lasagna, I got to get that guy on. Maybe he can talk about it. He's so into that ecosystem.
It seems like it's adjacent to was it Luna?
Are you talking about no, what it sounds like to me is more like Richard Hart's deal, where he's like, sacrifice your ETH and then you're gonna get our new chain of Pulse Chain, and basically. So if you sacrificed a certain amount of ETH, you got a certain amount of pulse chain on their deal. And
What
it's
was the
like,
big chain that was supposed to be like it was an
which are scams, by the way. I want to be perfectly
yeah,
clear.
that's definitely a scam. And unfortunately, this sounds a little scammy too.
100%.
What was the one that it was Luna, right?
Luna
collapsed
was
horribly
yes,
because
yes.
you know we decoupled.
Yeah. So it was the USD. It was their stable coin.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah.
but the adjacent chain was Luna, right? I'm pretty sure. And then once it decoupled, then it just collapsed very, very fast.
Oh yeah, that was the whole. That basically was the. I can't remember which one came first, but was it 3AC that collapsed it, or that was why 3AC?
Yeah, and they said that they were going to do it as well. They were like, listen, your economics here are garbage. All we need to do is do this.
Yes.
And they bought $500 million worth of Luna.
Yes.
And then completely decoupled it, and they made like $1 billion doing it.
But
they had already said,
yeah,
we can do this. You need to fix it. And the arrogant dude, who is always kind of funny to watch, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of the name though.
That's funny because it wasn't that long ago, but it seems like forever in crypto, right?
It was literally 2 decades.
Yeah.
Literally 2 decades.
It's like, God, do you remember Luna? Yeah, it was last year, dude.
People still talk about Luna, man. It still trades.
Yeah,
Luna still trades. What was? And
we
what
touch
was
it with a 10-foot barge pole.
Look at that.
That's an Englishism as well.
Oh, actually, I should. This is going to be hilarious. I'll watch this. So let me take off this one and this one. I want to see the comparison. Oh,
what happened?
It's so. Oh, sorry. I did it wrong. I messed up. I need to put it on here.
And then I have 2 charts I want to look at.
All right, and then we'll look at the other 2 charts. So Luna is only down 47% in this same time frame. What was that? In the same time frame, the March time frame. Luna is down 68, Gala's 49, so it's still down. Look at that drop.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when it decoupled from its own stable coin because the whole prospect was fucking garbage.
Oh yeah. But now if you would have
once I read into it, I was literally like, I don't know if I even could handle my own unfathomable disappointment that anybody would ever have created this fucking system. Because there's one other that's out there that does the same thing, and I can't remember what it is, but it's basically a stable coin propped up on the value of a crypto that has no actual functionality, which doesn't make any sense.
Luna was actually buying Bitcoin too to back it. What was the other ones you want to talk about?
Oh, I want to do just because I bought it without really looking into it too much, but
perfect. I love these ones.
Yeah,
this is my favorite.
It was
Tits V4.
No, Kudos.
How do you spell it?
CUDOS. Which I see.
Oh shit!
Damn!
It's running.
Yeah,
it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's
Is it a dinosaur coin?
No, it's a gaming coin. It's a gaming coin.
Oh, okay. Kudos to you, man.
Thanks.
That one looks pretty.
Yep. Okay.
It's got some beef to it, man.
I might change one of my pick'ems to Kudos.
Okay, you can do that.
I know I can.
What's the other one?
The other one, I had it in my head and now I've lost it, is
Bobcoin.
No, FET.
Oh yeah, FET. You said it. That's right.
Which suddenly...
FET is technically a dinosaur coin. It's been around so damn long.
At this point, yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
I mean, I know we say it every time we mention it, but that was a cranty call, right?
Yes. Wow.
But I just noticed.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's all-time highs.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's looking great right now.
I haven't looked at FET forever, but that I mean, you're kind of getting to that point of blue sky growth. That's an interesting little. Let's see what you got here. Yeah, I mean, 5x, 6x. I mean, in a real bull run, I mean, it's going to go to at least 5,000 a coin, right?
Okay.
Beast.
Might buy some more between now and then.
Where is
definitely not
Blake,
financial advice?
Blake,
you have to put the
where are you at here?
Advice stuff up on there.
Oh shoot!
I can't even find it. Where's it at?
There we go.
There you go. Man, that should be running every time we have this podcast.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of idiots. Don't listen to anything we say.
It's a little too late. Like somebody just went, holy shit.
Like, I put all my money into
Fed's
it.
going to $5,000. Whoa.
Shit.
That's on you for listening to.
It went from $1.16 to $5,000 in 3 months. Never seen that again.
I might switch one of mine to Dogecoin.
Doge.
No, that's a dinosaur coin.
That is dinosaur coin.
Doge is going to have its day. I just don't know when it is. I changed one recently. I think I put Jupe in as my pick. I think I took Link out, and so now I'm sitting on a few different ones. So, but we'll go over all those next week.
Dot?
Dot. Oh God, somebody else was telling me about Dot. Dot does nothing.
Well, I think it just did something.
Oh, that's market cap. I don't want market cap. Sorry.
Yeah, it kind of did something like just right there.
I mean,
it's following the market.
Does it actually do anything still though? It had some parachains stuff that it was doing. I mean, it had some potential. I bought it a long time ago because of the staking aspect to it.
And then I've got one more, which I really need to look at, which is XMR.
I don't like this chart, by the way.
It
looks okay.
I wouldn't buy Dot anyway, but
XMR.
Yeah.
What are you looking to hide?
Nothing. I just have a lot of it, which is hidden.
It just got delisted on something.
Binance delisted it because they anticipate all privacy coins are become illegal in the US.
100%. Like, why wouldn't
they will, and everybody knows it. But then, in doing so, I think what they created was enough. People saw the value in Monero as a privacy coin, and now it won't be in the US. It will be somewhere else. What does that say?
Dan just remortgaged his house and he bought
a lot of
FET. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yeah, cool.
Well, I'm going to see Dan in about an hour, and I'm going to slap him in his face.
Is his wife's name Janice? It would come full circle.
No, it's right here. This is his wife's name right now, Jillian.
I told Jillian it was going to work.
OBX Reaper, don't sleep on Pulse Chain. Look, man, Pulse Chain will probably pump, but Pulse Chain is 100% a scam. Like just the whole Richard Hart deal. Like he did a lot of Bitcoin stuff in the beginning, made a shit ton of money. He's probably multi-billionaire, but the whole way it went down and the way Pulse Chain is doing, like it's just so scary. It just reminds me.
Do you remember when you and I used to occasionally we would jump in on these pump and dump groups?
Occasionally we do it all the time.
We do it all the time. Well, I don't do it anymore. And I like the fact that the market has grown out of that a little bit, and that's a much slower play pump and dump. But they used to. I mean, they used to just hit an exchange, pump it 2,000%, and then drop it like that.
Yeah. So I don't doubt that it's going to pump. Is this even the Pulse X? Let's see if we can get a better spot. Look, I definitely think it. I mean, it could pump. Oh, SEI, see, a lot of people talking about that. It's getting a lot of hype in the layer one chain ecosystem. But back to Pulse X, it will probably pump. I am not going to buy any at all. I'll gladly lose out on that one. Yeah, Say is literally just up only. This thing's just a rocket ship. And this is a lot of people, it's the layer one narrative, right? Faster, cheaper, easier to build on, and I think Crypto Compliant, he was talking a lot about it in the Discord. So I mean, getting a lot of hype to it. So when you say there's 55,000 nodes, is this like 55,000 Gala nodes that don't do anything, and then what are the 165 projects? Because I mean, I can release 100,000 nodes tomorrow on a chain, and it's going to do nothing, right? Like that doesn't tell me anything. What are these projects that are actually doing something on Pulse Chain? Like I'll be completely honest. Like I get the just scam vibes from Richard Hart, so I didn't touch it. Like that was not my wheelhouse. So again, like I said, unless somebody wants to give me like some information on what projects are actually building on it, and I'll do a little research on it. I'll dive into it. I don't like the way Richard Hart went about things, but I've been wrong plenty of times. So send me the info.
Was it playable games that we went through and looked at all the games?
No, that was Miria.
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 That was the one, yeah.
We should look at those two real quick. Actually, I haven't looked at them in a while.
The amount of time I spent in that Discord was
Miria was gross. So it's playable. Playable has a nice little, ripped up. This is on the weekly too, so good consolidation. Looks really good for next move up. I mean, let's see if it's gonna hit $5,000 per, shall we? Gotta remove this shit. What is that? 2 cents
in there somewhere.
I mean, next move up should you'll see some movement in this 127 the penny and a half mark, and then 2 cent mark for sure. I mean, bull run stuff. I still think it can hit that 20 cent mark just in the gaming ecosystem. So
is that was that your prediction in December? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
No,
Dan,
we
the nice thing here is
tabulate
Dan has all of my predictions.
Oh, he does?
Okay. He wrote them all down. He has them all on a chart. He has a little chart that says Nate's predictions. So
perfect.
This is gonna be great. And then Miria. Let's look at Miria, and then we'll probably have to.
And
hey, we're going over an hour, dude. You said we couldn't go over an hour.
I fixed it.
Good job.
I had to. It wasn't because of our plan. It was because of how much past video we had stored on our.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
So we were out of room.
Which we don't need them on there anyway. So
no, we have them. Nope.
Yeah, I mean Miria again. I think it can do the 20 cent mark plus, which I'll be happy. I've got
really even with the way that
dude. It's why Pulse X is going to do too, right? Like we're in a bull market.
Pulse X.
I'm
not buying Pulse X.
Nah, I wouldn't either. Just the Richard.
I'm going to go buy some Seda.
I will. I am going to research it a little bit just so I can get a little bit gauge. So my shit talking at least will either die down a little bit, or I'll have some actual like more validity and not just the fact that I'm not a fan of Richard Hart.
Just that you just went.
I mean, I haven't been a fan of him for the longest time, like forever. So we'll see. Miria, I had at 33 cents. Thanks, Dan. Yeah,
33 cents. That was end of year, right? So it's end of
yeah, my yearly picks for like end of year. So
yeah,
I think it could get there for sure. It's only a 30x. Come on, put all your money in it. Just kidding. It says not fancy advice. I'm just joking. And Bull was 60 cents.
It's funny, like going full circle and picking up on what Dan said is, those stories are actually true. Those guys who did mortgage their house, they did buy Bitcoin, they did buy it at the top. It did drop horribly.
Oh yeah.
And now when we hit that all-time high, you are going to get a market flushing out of there because there are all these people who have just been trying to hold on day by day and saying it's coming back. And
yep, 100%.
And they have to convince Janice to stay. By the way, I'm going to see Bill Burr tonight.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Nice, dude. That'd be good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
I love Bill Burr.
Yeah,
Bill Burr and Shane Gillis are probably my two favorites.
And he's great live as well. He's just so high energy and just brilliant.
Yeah, I bet.
Punjab, I think the gaming coins are going to be the narrative of this bull run for the shit coins, and so Miria is going to be one of them, whether they actually pull through and give stuff or not. Bull, Gala will still have its day. It'll pump with music. I mean, Gala Games will actually pump when they sell it to me. Not the game token them, but like the games themselves. Yeah. Right. That's when it'll run. That's
okay. Well, keep me updated.
And when I say sell it to me, they're not going to sell it to me because I'm not going to own it. It's the collective.
The collective. We'll own it.
We'll own it.
We'll all
as a community. We will own it. Who's in? Raise your hands. All right.
Well, I'm in.
Shut her down, Blake.
Alrighty.
Oh, win GG token in a few weeks. We're actually going to have some announcements on that come next week. We got a couple announcements for it, so stay tuned because we might get audits back tomorrow. Blake, you're saying?
Yeah, you should have something in your email that you need to sign today.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, we'll definitely have announcements next week. So keep your eyes out, man. We got some fun stuff coming. We're also going to do some podcasts talk about the games that we're building internally. I talked with Punjab about this. So do you remember Fortitude?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be able to use your NFTs, son.
Sweet. I have some.
Boss
chief.
You know what else you're going to be able to use into it? This might be a little leak. I shouldn't leak it.
Don't leak it.
I won't leak it. Next week we'll
Alright.
talk about it.
Next week, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
I'll put it on my calendar.
Wait. What's the first? Because we want to go. Oh, it's Friday. Can you do Friday?
Friday the 1st.
Friday.
Oh, that is first day of Women's History Month.
Well,
Yes, I can do Friday.
we'll celebrate women. Do we have any women listeners that want to come in on the podcast as well?
We should get strippers. Just have them over there.
Okay. Well,
No?
make it happen.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll talk to you later.
You're going to like what you see here, Nate.